Bless Squad, what's going on with y'all, man? It's your boy, Blessed Applesauce, here to bless y'all with another video here on Blessed to Invest. And today I want to talk about the 10 rules of money. These are critical rules that everybody needs to know if you want to do really well with money, be well off, and just to understand how money works and how the game is played. But speaking of game, first the like button. That's the first game we got to play. Spam the like button, get that like button as high as possible. And on top of that, that's the first thing. You have to understand that money is a game. And with any game, you can learn how to play the rules of the game. There's winners, there's losers, there's people that know all the rules of the game, and there are people that know none of the rules of the game. And that's what tends to separate the rich from the poor. The rich know all the tax codes. They know how to double money, multiply money, increase their income, while the poor doesn't understand the rules of the game. They don't educate themselves on how money works, how taxes work, how you actually are able to double your money outside of maybe a standard income or add multiple streams. So understanding that money is a game and learning how to play the game is going to be very important. That's the first rule. You definitely need to educate yourself. It's going to be a continuous education of how to learn the game, how to play the game, how to be successful at the game of money. And the thing about it is, if you're not good now, you can get better. It's one of those things, it's a lifetime skill that you will have for the rest of your life, and you have your whole life to get good at it. Second one, number two, the second rule of money is going to be pay yourself first. A lot of people get into this situation where they have bills and they have a paycheck, and what they'll do, they'll immediately pay the bills, and then the paycheck will be gone. What you need to do first is not focus on the bills first, but focus on the target of saving and investing and having something left over off top before you actually dive into your bills. There's a biblical standpoint on this where they say take the 10% off top. If any Christians out there that read the Bible, they say take the first 10%, the fresh crops first, and then decide what to do with the rest of it, whether that be bills, whether that be taking it to feed families, whatever that may be, with the remaining of it. And it puts you in a mindset where you're not thinking, okay, what's left can I work with, but with what I have, what can I do with it, instead of figuring out secondary versus first. So first needs to be paying yourself first. That's going to be saving, investing, and putting it towards your goals. And then next is going to be putting it into the bills and things that you actually need to survive. This is going to be a fun game. After a while, it's going to be a little difficult, but after a while, you're going to actually learn how to save and pay yourself first. I recommend doing separate bank accounts and putting it somewhere where you can forget it. It automatically comes out and you don't have to worry about it. So that's going to be very key. Next rule of money that's going to be very important is the velocity of money. This rule is one that you hear a lot of times when you look at the Fed meetings, how they talk about how fast it's moving through the economy. But with this, the velocity of money is being able to move money into different spaces. Money, when you're learning the game of money, it's about not just having it stagnant in a savings account, stagnant in under your mattress. You need to be able to move the money and move it properly. There is banks. Banks are known for this a lot. When you go to any bank, they never have enough money actually at the individual bank. They may have $100,000 on hand, maybe $250 on hand. But other than that, most of their money is loaned out to mortgages, loaned out to cars, loaned out to wherever it may be, loaned out to businesses. Their money is always out there moving around and constantly making them money. And that is going to be very important for the velocity of money, for the rule of money. You need to make sure your money is constantly moving. It's in different spaces. It doesn't need to be sitting in your bank account, whether that's in real estate, whether that's in stocks, whether that's in another business. And once it's done operating in that said, maybe it's in the stock market for a year, and you need to move it out. After it's done operating there, you need to put in your bank account and then move it somewhere else. It's going to be a continuous motion of money. Not only that, that does help with your taxes a lot. If you dive into the tax code, being able to move money around into different locations also helps you lower your taxes. So that's a plus benefit of being able to keep the velocity of money flowing. Next, the next rule of money that's going to be very important is befriend people that make money. They say that you're the average, the top 5 people you hang around. So if people around you are not making money, odds are you're not going to be making money either. So hang around people that are like-minded like you, that are making money, that are making moves, that are making investments, where with this velocity of money, you can actually put, you have the opportunity to put money where they're making money. Because if they're providing on private jets and stuff like that, you're going to be around people that are thinking of ideas. Okay, why don't we do this? Why don't we move this way? Why don't we do this? And you're going to be tagged along, and you're going to be a part of this new mission that they're doing. So definitely befriend people that are making money. Next is the next rule of money. Saving is not going to get you rich. Saving is very important. You definitely need to save, but there needs to be some type of target and goal for your savings. You don't want to just put it in the bank and save it. You need to put it and invest it. This is kind of like the poor and rich mindset, where people see, okay, I have $20,000 saved up, I'm doing well, versus a rich person would say, okay, I have $20,000 saved up, what can I do with it? So that's a rule of money that's very important. Saving will not get you rich. There is a study, if you look at somebody that saved $250,000 over a 40-year period versus somebody that saved $250,000 over that same period, but invested in the stock market, the gains on that was they made over $1 million off the 250 versus somebody that only saved it. They actually lost money because of inflation. So be wary of that inflation risk and not saving money because it won't get you rich. Next is use debt wisely and use leverage. Leverage is going to be very important in this game, especially if you want to expand your money quickly, but you need to use it responsibly and use it well. A lot of people go into debt and they buy consumer things, they buy things on their credit card, and they don't think about, okay, this is costing me money. You need to think about, how can I use this debt to make me more money? How can I use this debt to leverage my business? How can I use it to move ahead where I need to go? So that's very important, using debt to get where you need to go, leverage wise to make you more money, good debt over bad debt. Avoid bad debt at all costs. Diversity sucks. And I say this, diversity is going to be very important, but starting out, whether you're in like a business or you're working some type of venture you're trying to get into, focusing on one thing at a time is going to be critical, because once you dive into 5 different things, you're spreading your time out, you're spreading your money out. So let's say you have $10,000 and you only put $1,000 in each thing. One, you don't have the time to invest on each thing, one. And then two, let's say you need 2,000, but you're putting only 1,000 in. If you committed a whole 10,000 into this project, you will be able to have more than enough money to do what you need to do. You will have extra money on the side just in case things may go wrong, and you will be straight. Whereas if you were to spread it out, it's like the saying of jack of all trades, master of none. You need to be able to focus. And once you focus and get committed and already have everything set up where this $10,000 is now making you 50, 100 grand, then you can spread out and dabble in these other things, because it's not going to cost you, because you already have that one thing flowing and running well. So diversifying sucks. Stick with focus. Next is avoid dumb purchases. This goes without saying. If you have dumb purchases, you need to take that off your balance sheet. You need to make sure you're paying for things, one, in cash if you can afford it, and two, stay out of bad debt. And you don't need to impress anybody. In this game of money, it's not about impressing anybody. It's about hitting your goals, hitting your expectations, and trying to impress people and buying things that you don't need is definitely going to slow you down. So be wary of that. Avoid frivolous items, avoid stuff that you don't need, and you'll be straight. Next is always have some type of emergency fund and have liquidity on hand. This becomes very important. First, the emergency fund. Let's talk about that. The emergency fund is going to be very important, because let's say you run into an accident, you get into a situation where you don't have the funds to pay for it, and you don't have any savings, and it really slows down your investment returns, where you have to pull out of your portfolio, you got to pull out of somewhere that you needed the money. But if you had an emergency fund on hand, you wouldn't have to worry about that. So that is going to be very important. An emergency fund is going to be critical. And then on top of that, having the liquidity. A lot of times, just having cash on hand is going to be very important for that opportunity to come in. There was a book where a guy had his tall. That's what they called it back in the day. It was the tall. It was dry powder that he had on hand in case some type of opportunity came around. It is important to have that dry powder around, where you can have, okay, somebody hit you up with a real estate venture, you can say, okay, I'm ready to get into this. Or somebody hits you with a stock or business idea. You're like, okay, I have some money aside to actually invest and put into this. But people that don't have that dry powder sitting aside, they're not able to take advantage of these opportunities. So make sure you have an emergency fund, and make sure you have some dry powder just in case those opportunities do come around, because you don't want to miss out on those opportunities, because once they're gone, that's it. And you don't have the dry powder to take advantage of them. So definitely do that. And last but not least, this is going to be number 10. This is probably going to be the most important one. Understand your number, understand your happiness, understand your goals. A lot of people get into this. It is a money game. It's a game. It's fun. It's exciting to grow your wealth and build your wealth. But understand there is a target to this. Money, there's a means to an end. There's going to be some reason you're trying to hit $1 million or trying to hit $10,000 passively, or whatever you're trying to hit. So once you hit that goal, understand you hit the goal. You should be happy for the goal. You don't need to go in and do 60 hours if you already hit the goal. You should have a target where you're like, okay, I can press on the brakes a little bit. Let's go experience the things I wanted to experience with the money that I had. Let's say you wanted the nice car. You got the nice car now. Enjoy it. You don't need to do 50 million hours a week to try to just keep up with the next person that's making 2 times more than you. You don't need to do that. Understand your number, understand your personal goals, and be satisfied with where you are. And that's going to be the balance of the two. Happiness and money is going to be very important. You need to make sure that you're balancing the two. Me, I'm trying to hit a couple M's, but I have a reason for that. Once I hit that goal, I can press on the brakes a little bit. I'll be good. But understand your number, understand your goals, and that should be good. So those are going to be the 10 rules of money. Make sure you live by them, stand by them. They're going to be critical. Anybody that has been successful has hit almost all of these targets, all of these goals. That is how you're going to get there. The key to success right here. But if you have any other rules of money that you live by, I want to know down in the comments section down below. Let's talk about it. Maybe we can add it to a second list. Maybe we'll do another top 10 rules of money. That's going to wrap it up. It's me, your boy. Blessed applesauce. Stay blessed. I'm going to see y'all next time on Blessed to Invest.
Just to see tomorrow is a blessing. Stay prayed up is the message. Everything about a nigga blessed. Everything about a nigga blessed.